I'm at the Parliament of the World's Religion, Toronto 2018. And I just did a little interview, and I wanted to duplicate the interview because I don't know what their team is going to do with the information. I was bringing a message from the Maya people to this organization, because this organization has no presence down in South America or in the Yucatan Peninsula, where there is a lot of spiritual activity going on, which I happen to know about because I participate in many of the ceremonies there. And we are here to tell the Parliament that we have a center in the jungles outside of Playa del Carmen, and that spiritual elders that are looking for particular understanding of the Maya culture and its importance to ourselves in these days, that they're more than welcome to come down there and have an experience of what global mindedness is, the understanding of Yu-Ye, the understanding, well, the other understandings that I teach there, which has to do with the United Nations Resident Coordinator, which if we had one in the spiritual community, if we guys would organize and put pressure on the UN Resident Coordinators in each of our countries, then we would learn that we need to have a better, differently trained UN Resident Coordinator. And I said we should start with teaching them the Golden Rule, if nothing else. Golden Rule is the poster from the Scarborough Center, and we saw our friend Father Terry O'Malley here yesterday, reminding us of, well, his beautiful self, and also the Golden Rule that his organization has championed around the world. And anyway, so we ran into him yesterday. We also ran into our friend Dr. Nina Lemeyerhoff, who has a very interesting program in Poland, where they have a reconstruction program of some of the old places of horror, to rededicate them to serving peace and making a monument to the future, instead of it's all falling into decay over there. So there's many points in the world, in the Maya world. If we just focused on that for a moment, I want to support Nina's project, but I also want, and I think the Parliament should be supporting Nina's project, and I think the Parliament should be supporting other initiatives around the world. And one of them in particular is the development of the UN Resident Coordinator, and have them properly trained. We need a UN Resident Coordinator in every country. Most people that are hearing this don't even know the position exists. And in Canada, we resist having it. And I've assumed the interim UN Resident Coordinator position. I'm the interim. I've asked our Prime Minister to fire me and let me train someone to do the job in the way it ought to be done, not the way I'm able to do it with no staff and no assistance. It's very difficult when we have an overall administration that keeps the traditional people afraid to talk with me. The Council of the Mississauga is afraid to listen to me. They don't want it known how badly they follow their own traditions. And this is not to be interpreted as hate. Some say that I carry some hate in me. I would like to make clear that I have some hate in me. I see it, I know where it is. And I'm familiar enough with it to know that there's nothing else like it in my being for any man, woman, child on the planet. So, my friend is mistaken, but it bothers me to think that I'm filled with hate. I told him I'll get over it. So here we are again. The message I brought here was that this organization needs to expand down into South America. Imagine if we had a parliament of world's religions in all of those countries that are currently being desecrated. The Honduras, Belize, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico, the 5 states of Mexico. Yucatan, Quintana Roo, Campeche, Tabasco, Chiapas. Imagine if we had someone coordinating efforts to eliminate their misery. Why are they not entitled to have a higher standard of living than they have? We're working on a little hospital just outside of in Piste, outside of Chichen Itza, where this hospital will be serving about 20,000 people, and you wouldn't believe how Mickey Mouse it is, that the operation we're putting together. And the reason the church in the neighborhood can't help us is because when we had the big problem in Guatemala last year, all of the monies went to help the people in Guatemala. So we had no reserves here in Piste. So we're having to scramble for this. And scramble we will, but we're going to build the hospital, and we'll know next week about its status. So the message I brought here was that there is a spiritual center now for the Parliament. We would like you to, the Parliament, to consider how we develop the Parliament in each of these countries down here, and use the UN Resident Coordinator as a tool for doing that. This could be another aspect to any global initiative that the Parliament ought to expand its activities and expression of a kind of spiritual understanding that needs to be shared outside of religion. The religions continue to separate us, not bring us together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Mitzat Kriya Yasin. Namaste. Mane Padme You yay!